And like that, here we are. Hi, everybody. We're Mike and Jennifer Wendland, and welcome to Ask Us Anything. And we are making Ask Us Anything history tonight because we are simulcasting this live stream on YouTube, which we do every week. But now we have added our Facebook page, the RV Lifestyle page on Facebook, and the RV Lifestyle group on Facebook. So twice on Facebook, we're going live. And also welcoming our those who follow us at RV Lifestyle Mike on Twitter. We are in Periscope. So we are all and around. And that's pretty cool, right?
It is very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. Now, if they don't hear it, yeah, you might have to get you a little closer to the mic because it's everything's new. Hey, as we always do, we like to say, and we got lots of questions. We're going to do a whole bunch of them. We always like to recognize the very first people on, and I saw them when I was testing, and that's Silvana, and Bernard. Hi, you guys. Thank you for waiting. You have been in the queue there with all of our listeners the longest, and we are delighted. And let's go right to the very first question that we have tonight, and that's from our friends Davis, Tandy, and Buster. And it says, Mike, have you seen the video from Advanced RV on the prototype Box B? It's a Class B+. We have. And actually, we've been kind of talking with Mike Neuendorfer at Advanced RV. We kind of got a hint about this. When was that? In January. Last January at the Tampa RV show. And I know they've been working on it. And Mike released a video of what it might look like. I'm sure they're going to fancy up the outside, but it looks really exciting, and looks like there'll be another B+ candidate out there in the world. And anything Advanced RV makes is nothing but quality. Those guys are great. Based in Willoughby, Ohio, not far from Cleveland. So we'll be anxiously watching that, and that should be fun. So I want to bring on Phyllis Carr, who is one of our moderators, and she is here today. And Phyllis, maybe you can help everybody understand how they should pose the questions, because we're going to have so many questions, and that chat room is going to go like crazy. And how we can tell them how we can be able to spot the questions and the comments a little better.
That's a great thing. And the thing is, people are already doing it. So you've trained your audience really well. And if you just type in all caps question and then type your question normally, it's easier to pick out in the feed, because now we have potentially 4 times the number of people here watching this and typing. So it's going to be really important. And also, if you find somebody who's abusing things and we need to kick them out, just let us know either through Facebook or through the chat, and we will take care of it. We're going to be really busy tonight. It's very exciting. So question in all caps and then type your question normally, and then Mike can see it.
All right. Thank you so much, Phyllis. We'll be checking in with you throughout the show here tonight. And this is fun. It's really fun to have this big audience, isn't it, Jen?
It is.
We are coming to you from our home in Oakland, Michigan. Actually, we're hitting the road tomorrow for a short trip, not too far. And I'm sure we'll be telling you all about that as we get going. Pyre Pop has a question. What's the longest time you've traveled in an RV? 1 week, 2 weeks? Gosh, couple months? I don't know. I don't know. We've never really got, but we've gone off on 2-3 month trips. So
I know for sure 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was just before we got nailed down with a lockdown in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. That was just this year, and other years it's been longer. And we're hoping to get out there for longer. We were supposed to be on the road for about 3-4 months as of the first of the month of 1st of August, but here we are, September, and you still can't go across the Canadian border. So it's kind of crazy. A question from Bradley Olson. He says, by adding your equalizer leveling jacks, did it affect ground clearance under your coach? Well, yeah, a little bit, because you got those jacks hanging down. I have about 5.5 inches of ground clearance on the front, and I use snap pads on mine, so that adds a little bit. And I have about 6 inches on the back. And that has not been a problem. We've gone off-road a little bit with it, and it just has not been an issue.
And where you travel. So
I do,
whatever types of roads, whatever terrain, if 5.5 inches isn't enough, then don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but for us, it's been working out great so far, and we'll keep seeing, and it should be great. Lots of you here. I saw this earlier before we started. I said, I have to take a drink for every question they answer. Oh, they do. Everybody else. That's true. That's pretty funny. That is very funny. So keeping on the line, I'm looking for questions. I want to also do a shout out to Chris Cowley tonight. Chris is another one of our moderators. Chris is part of our video editing and graphics team. And as he says, to be sure and subscribe to our RV lifestyle videos and adventures. And there is a link right there. If you just go to that link, yeah, you can find it, and that's in the chat room. So you can just kind of look in the chat that is out there right now. So those are all.
Linda, you skipped over Linda.
Where is
because
Linda?
She wrote question.
Oh, there you go, Linda. That I saw you, but I didn't see the question. It's about 3 lines in. So there you go.
A few words in.
Thank you. See, that's good. 2 eyes are always better. 4 eyes. Yeah, that's right. Do you have any suggestions how to clean out the gray tank? Our sensors have stopped working. Linda, that's the curse of every RV. The sensors in the black tank and in the gray tank, they get clogged up, and the reading accuracy is pretty bad. I think there are some third-party solutions you can get, but they're very expensive. The best thing I say is you get to know your RV, and you get to know roughly how long it takes for that gray tank to get filled up to the point you have to empty it. So I don't know what to tell you other than some people will, if you have a thing called I think it's called a Santee valve, and we have one in our RV where you can actually hook a hose up to it, and it will send a pretty pressurized water into that tank. It'll kind of clear it all out. The black tank, some people can take a wand and a hose and clear it out. An urban myth seems to be taking a bag of ice and dropping it in the black tank and then driving around and letting that clear out. Doesn't really work. Our friends, the Fit RVs, did a test on that. Remember that?
Yeah.
It didn't work. We've tried it. That didn't work on the black. But the gray tank's a little touchier because you really don't have an easy way to get a hose in to squirt it all down. So one of the things you can try and do is get it about 3/4 filled, the best you can. Drive around a lot so it sloshes back and forth, and hopefully that might clear out the sensors. But it's a tougher one. Every RV I know that does a lot of work on these ends up saying you just kind of know. You get a rough idea of how much gray you're putting in and how much you can take. We're even at that point with our new one, we're figuring it out. So
I've got to say something to Linda Ward. She said that she liked. Oh, did you find
She's there?
There she is. Yeah. How she loved the dog park video. So thank you for that. And how she loved that Bo would only get his feet wet. And Bo is our 4th Norwegian elk hound. They all only get their feet wet. In fact, one wouldn't even get her feet wet. She'd walk around a puddle. But you get them in the snow, man, they don't come in.
No, they don't. They
he does not swim. They do not swim.
And Linda's referring to our video of the week, which we posted yesterday, and you can see that on our YouTube channel. Now, I'm looking to see real quick if we have any questions from any of you via Facebook, either the Facebook group or the Facebook page. And I wanted to bring some of them in. Almost all the questions are, well, there's somebody. We got Frank. Frank came in by Facebook. So thank you, Frank, for that. But on Facebook and on the Facebook page and the Facebook group, you guys can type your questions in. We should be able to see them, and we'll show them up. You can tell where somebody is from when we take their comments. You can usually see the little logo. For example, Joey's question, which we'll take next, you can tell that came out from Facebook because there is the little. Can't get right down that low. That little red Facebook logo. And Joey says, when you took. Pardon?
Oh, no, don't mind. I thought that was YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That isn't Facebook. That is YouTube. See, I'm ahead of myself. I have not seen any Facebook except that one comment. And some of you on Twitter, Periscope, if you're watching, would love to see your questions too. Joey says, when you took that trip to Arizona, how much water did you bring? Full tank. I believe we did. We filled it up just before we started boondocking. And we had, how long were we camping? I think about 4 or 5 nights. And we never completely filled it up. We never emptied it. So it went great. So yeah, we usually when we're boondocking, we'll fill it up just before we get to our spot. Otherwise, I think a full tank in our RV weighs about 350 pounds, and that's a lot of extra weight that we would much rather use for cargo and other things like camera gear and drones. So, what was that? I saw that eye roll there. So I'm looking for some more of your questions, and we love to get them. Saying hi to a lot of you. You guys are all out there. Well, there's our friend Mark Hopkins. We haven't seen Mark and Hitch for a long time. That's great. Thank you, Mark and Hitch. We met them in Arizona and in California, and Mark is a frequent visitor here. How do you run your AC all night? Is it noisy? Yeah. We don't run our AC all night unless we're in a campground and it is just, so miserable out there. Frankly, we try to stay away from camping if it's so hot and muggy that we have to run our AC, or we tend to try and go into higher elevations where it's cooler. The air conditioner is noisy, right?
It is noisy.
There's no way around it.
And we also run a little fan on the floor just to break the noise so that it's not loud, quiet, loud, quiet.
Yeah, compressor kicks on, kicks off, and it's noisy. The one we have now in our Wonder is not as bad as the ones we had on our old B vans. We know there are some much quieter ones on the market. We were actually looking at having one installed from Advanced RV. And the only reason we haven't done that yet is the season is just about all over. It's getting down into the 50s at night, at least up in the Midwest where we are, and we don't need to have the AC. But that, and we don't really like the AC with, just the constantly explain what we don't like.
Well, it's just you get blasted, and then it stops, and you get blasted again. So it's a little bit too much cold air.
Yeah,
all at once.
All right, looking for more questions. Kathy Chanteau is joining us on Facebook.
It's cold here in Michigan. Yes, Kathy, that's because you live in Florida now.
It's cold here. Temperature right now is 70 degrees. Cold.
Now, see, I'm a true Michigander. 65, 70, that's my comfort point.
Yeah, this is perfect weather for us. In fact, I like it in the upper 40s at night and 60. Once it gets past 70, I find it uncomfortable.
And talking about in swimming, something I was going to say also was that he's a sled dog. When it's cold outside and they say, don't let your dog be outside, we can't get him in.
Yeah. He loves the snow. Hi to Felicie in Louisiana. Hope you lucked out with that hurricane and did okay. Good for you, Felicie. Thank you. And thanks for your service. I see from your little logo, it says, I can't stay home. I am a nurse. No, you can't. We need you. How have you dealt with starting to get your 2 to 3-way refrigerator cold hours before leaving on a trip from your condo? We started the night before. Now we're up in Michigan now, and we're leaving tomorrow for a short trip. And after this, I got to take the trash out for the night, and I'm going to stop by the RV and turn on the refrigerator, and it'll be nice and cold. How cold? I tested it the last trip we did, and after starting it the night before and then going out in the morning, it was down to, and it was very hot that week. That was last week, I think we did it, and it was very hot and humid, and I was, the refrigerator was 37 degrees, and the freezer was, I think, -3. It was either -3 or +3. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the video I shot. So that's how we do it. We start the night before. Sometimes I have trouble trying to connect our sewer hose because of mild arthritis in my hands. Do you ever have any trouble? No, I don't. I think like all of us, we get a little bit of arthritis. We have always used a macerator. That's another reason I like the macerator. It's very easy. There's nothing to connect. You just take it out, put it in the thing, turn on a switch, pick it up and put it away. You have to do a little bit more adjusting with those big gravity hoses. So it hasn't been a problem. And this is something Jennifer, my queen, knows nothing about.
I think for women, arthritis in your fingers is much more debilitating than in men, because it seems like women have a lot of trouble opening, water bottles and all kinds of things that just hits us more in our fingers.
Hey, here's a question. I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago that we were thinking about going to Advanced RV and picking up and having pulling out the Dometic air conditioner we have, which is very noisy, and installing one that they can install. It's about $3,000, but it's
That's
called.
why we're not going to do it.
Well, we're going to do it, but maybe not right away. Martha checks in by Facebook, and she says it's the Houghton AC. That's the brand name, Houghton. And she said we had it installed in our Winnebago Travato Class B, and let me tell you, I will never have another AC. It's so quiet and enjoyable to have on, worth every penny. We saw it when we visited and did our video on Advanced RV, and it was indeed amazing. So quiet.
And our friends Kathy and Les, they went to Advanced and had it put in, and they said the same thing, that it was wonderful. So thank you, Martha.
Hey, I got a couple of super chats. I can't put them on screen, so I see them up there. Wow, we got two of them. Let me go pick up. The first one is there it is. Melanin Queen, $14.99 super chat via YouTube. Thank you. She says, pretty set on buying the new 2021 Wonder and want to know your recommendation for insurance. Love Bo and the dog park video. Who's our insurance? Our insurance is with Progressive. I've been with them for several years. I have not shopped it around. I see Geico is becoming extremely aggressive in promoting their stuff on for RVers, so you could try that. I
bet it could vary too, state to state.
Yes, it does.
Because Michigan used to be the most expensive car insurance, so I don't know if it's the most expensive RV insurance as well, but it could vary state to state.
So Melanin Queen, thank you for that super chat. We really do appreciate that. It helps buy Bo his dog biscuits, and we did. Let me see. I had another super chat. Let me go back and see if I can find it. How did I miss that? Shirley Benoit. Love your videos. A 1999 super chat. Thank you, Shirley. That means so much to us. We see those super chats come in. If you don't know what they're talking about, Facebook people, don't worry. On YouTube, there's a little $, and at the bottom, people can click that, and I get a flash message. They go to the head of the line, and Google takes, I think, 1/3, and we get 2/3 or something. And it's just a way to say thanks and all that stuff. And we do appreciate it. Well, like right there, Stephen Loy, $4.99. How do you edit the black view video? In other words, can you batch crop the images? I'm having trouble. I have a new black view coming Tuesday. I had to order another one, and I'm not 100% certain I would recommend it to anybody. And let me tell you what happened the last trip, Stephen. The way I edit it, let me answer that question, is I take out the little SD card. I think I have it right here, actually. The little SD card from the camera. Maybe I don't. I can't seem to reach it. It's a little tiny, not the big one. There's a little tiny one in there.
Well, let me look.
Anyway, I took it out and it broke the connection in the camera. So the camera works fine, but getting out that little SD card, which is a tiny, tiny little card, it won't go back in. So the camera won't record. And so I sent him a note, said, hey, what do I do? Here's my serial number and everything. Like 3 days went by before they answered it. And then they said, well, we need proof of insurance and we need all of this and pictures of this. And I said, guys, it doesn't work. So anyway, I am getting a new one, and they're very expensive. They're $439. So I don't know if I would recommend them, Stephen, just based on the service. And the previous one I had too, that SD card has to go in very gently. And sometimes it's very hard when you push it in the camera for it to click in. This one, that part just broke, and I have a new one coming on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. Thank you, Phyllis, for catching those. In fact, Phyllis, if I'm going to bring you on, that's a great idea, because you actually saw that. You actually saw that super chat and were able to put it up for me. So thank you.
Yeah, it tends to disappear. A new one just came in. I don't know if you see that at the top.
I saw it at the top, and a $10 one, and we'll get that one. That is awesome. And then I might have you go back and help me with the questions that I missed, because I'm jogging around here. I'm going to find that $10 one, which is. You
should be able to hit it at the top and find it. But
you can. I can tap and see it. I just can't put them on screen. And this one comes from Patty Capel. It's a $10 one, and it just says thank you, and thank you very much, Patty. That is awesome. That is awesome. We really do appreciate that. So we're cleaning up on. We'll just keep talking until you guys stop giving. This is awesome. I feel like we're running a PBS telethon here. We'll get back to the program after this, but if you send in your money now. Last night we watched PBS. We watched
A bunch of oldies.
a bunch of oldie musical groups.
Yep.
And it
was
reminded
fun.
us of
Our youth.
and it reminded us of Lakeside Chautauqua on Lake Erie, where we saw last year. We saw The Fifth Dimension, and that was really fun. So that's really good. So thank you for that super chat, Patty. And now I got to get you out because I'm talking about these super chats, and they're coming in on like gangbusters. So did I get Stephen? Oh yeah, I did. Thank you, Stephen. Again, you get double for that one. And I got Patty. And there's another one way at the bottom.
Man, I can't read those. You're whipping.
I know.
I'm going to get seasick.
I know. This is not a good system on here. There it is. It is Cliff. We often wonder the best way to judge RV sites and reserve them, and we've not been there before. Please give us your suggestions. Use a site called campgroundviews.com, and also go to the RV Lifestyle blog. And by the way, thank you for that super chat, Cliff. Go to the RV Lifestyle blog, rvlifestyle.com. And earlier this week, or was it last week, but just scroll down, you'll see it. I did an article on how to find the right campsite for you in 5 minutes. And it goes through many resources like campgroundviews.com and some other suggestions on how to find a site that isn't going to be a surprise when you pull in. So check that. And I think that you'll find that's good. The site is campgroundviews.com. And thank you again for sending along that super chat.
You know, it scares me when I just read as you're whipping back and forth that someone's watching us at home on the big screen TV. I kind of prefer they watch us on the iPhone.
Yeah. We should do this thing. You can't see us. We're going to hide. Yeah, that is funny. Do you have any sense when RV rallies shows will start up again? A great question from Lindley Rawlins. Well,
Yes.
we do.
January.
We know of two, and we just reported them on the podcast this past week, and we'll talk more about them. In fact, we'll have the organizer. The first one is, I don't have the dates, but that you'll all know that it's Quartzsite. Quartzsite in Arizona is probably the biggest rally of them all. It's really a mineral rock and RV show, and it's middle of January at Quartzsite, Arizona. It goes really pretty much the whole month, but in one particular week, they have as many as 150,000 RVers show up.
There's no hookups or anything.
There's a couple of parks there. You can get hookups. They're all filled.
But it's a lot of folks.
But boondocking in the desert, it's awesome. And we had a ball. We went off the week after the show, and we had our choice. And there's a video on that as well on the YouTube channel. But Quartzsite, and right now the Tampa RV show, the Tampa Super Show, which is one of our favorites, is still on. It has not yet been canceled. And, we're assuming that they are still going to go with that. We watch it every week, and we will continue to do so. And we'll let you know if there's any difference. But it looks like we're going to start to see some RV shows starting in January. And that should be fun. Martha, you mentioned a few weeks ago about possibly selling your e-bikes.
And he hadn't talked to me about that.
Wondering why, as we are considering getting them. Well, because we didn't think we could find an easy way to carry them in our RV. It's the garage we have is too you can't get two of them in. We can get one of them in. And then we realized, well, we could put the hitch on, but between the two bikes and the weight of the hitch, it's over the tongue weight on the RV model that we happen to have right now. But the solution is we put one of them in the garage, and we still have room for lots of other stuff. We put the hitch on, and then we can take the other one. And the other solution is that I learned is don't say we're going to sell something that we like a lot without talking to the CEO. And so we are keeping ours. We do really like them. What kind of generator do you have? It's the Onan generator, and we have the propane version. I had a question that came by email today from somebody who said, well, why didn't you get diesel? Two reasons. One, I think diesel's a little noisier. And two, every now and then you get diesel fumes from it. And I find that very irritating. I don't like diesel fumes. So the other thing is whether you get the generator with propane or whether you get it with diesel, it doesn't make much difference because you don't use it nearly as much as you think you will. Unless you just inconsiderate of your neighbors, or you're in a place where you can run it 24/7, and then you're going to have to put more diesel in. It's going to sip your diesel out. It's going to sip your propane. We found that it uses very little propane, used very little diesel. We've never gotten a diesel one because I don't like the smell of diesel, but we have propane. We use it when it's really hot, and our most common use is if we're stopping at a rest area and we're going to fix lunch and it's really hot. We'll turn on the generator and then we can turn on the AC. Sometimes we stop and take a nap, and if it's really hot, we'll turn on the generator, and despite the noise, we'll take a break. Eric and Rhonda have a bedding update they want from you, Jennifer. What were you thinking about for sheets in the back of the RV?
I am happy with our sleeping bags, so I'm using those until I feel like shopping. You can't really shop now. I guess you can go online and shop, but I like to touch the material of sheets to see if I think they're soft or if I like them, and I like to look at the color. I don't like ordering online. And when I do order those sheets, we have somebody in Norway who offered to buy us some, because in Norway, the twin beds are the size of what we have in our rig.
What are they?
32 76 by 32.
Yeah.
And the sheets that we found are all 39. So I'm not in any hurry. I'm not a good shopper. And I have something that'll work.
Yeah, she says sleeping bag. She really means our RV super bag, which is kind of like a glorified sleeping bag, but it's much more expensive.
Yes.
But it's got really nice sheets. They Velcro inside. There's a winter side for when it's really cold. There's a summer side when it's warm. We like them and have had them now for 10 years. We have a twins, and then we have a king. So we've kept both of them.
Yeah, I really should call it super bags. They're much more than a sleeping bag.
If you use your RV intermittently during the winter from your cold home base, do you repeatedly winterize and dewinterize, or do you keep it plugged in to heat? Well, if it's used intermittently and you're going in cold weather all that time, winterize it once and then continue to use it. Don't unwinterize it or dewinterize it. If you're going to Florida for a month or so, I would dewinterize it when it gets warm, and then simply winterize it when you come back up. It's not that hard to get more antifreeze through it. If it's just mostly sitting, just leave it winterized. You don't have to keep it plugged into heat. Although when your RV is sitting there for a long time, it's not a bad idea to do a little trickle charge on the engine motor of your RV if it's a motorhome, and it's not a bad idea to even run a little trickle charge. Or we happen to have had installed a 30 amp connection in our driveway, and we keep our RV plugged into that. We use our RV when we're here in Michigan as a second vehicle as well to run errands. Took it to the dog park the other day, as a matter of fact. So, but you don't have to take it out. When you camp in the wintertime, you still leave the antifreeze in and you flush with antifreeze.
And a lot of heads turned when we pulled into that dog park. We had to do tours and everything of our RV.
Can you make a recommendation for a boondocking location near the Tequamanon Falls that's suitable for a 30-foot trailer? That's pretty big. Add your tow vehicle and your 43, 44 feet. None of the boondocking areas I know are really close to Tequamanon Falls for that, but Tequamanon Falls has got lots of great places to stay. There are a number of national forest campgrounds on the way to Tequamanon Falls, right along Lake Superior.
I don't know if they're open in the winter.
I don't think she's talking about winter.
Oh, okay.
But I think they close in mid-October because it starts to get cold up there. But I'm sure you're boondocking, particularly in the Midwest and the East. Your boondocking situation with something that long is a little more challenging. There's lots of national and state forests, so you might be able to find something there.
Tequamanon Falls, I think, is winter.
Are there all-wheel drive Class B plus or C with lithium solar power? If you mean, do they have lithium and lithium batteries and solar panels? Yes, there are a number of them. The only one that's all-wheel drive that I know of right now is the one we have, which is the Wonder on the Ford Transit chassis. It is a B plus. It is from Leisure Travel Vans, and it comes with lithium as an option. We bought 2. We're thinking about going to 3. And we also have the 400 watts of solar up on the roof, and they play really well together. But that's the only all-wheel drive. Now the Sprinter has four-wheel drive options, and they come, of course, many of the manufacturers will make that with lithium or solar. Those are class Bs, not B pluses. So those are the ones that I would suggest to you. Is Yellowstone very crowded? Have not been. Other RV folks commenting on too many people. Yeah, it is. It's incredible. I mean, everybody is camping right now.
Everybody's out in the parks and everything because of having been locked up. We took Bo for a walk last night to a little park that's near our home, and we've never seen so many people there.
Ever. And, usually we're the only ones there when we go at sunset. In the national parks, everybody has either bought an RV, some of them have bought them sight and see because they really want a vacation, or they have rented one. It's almost impossible to rent one now, or they borrowed one from friends. And because people are reluctant to go on a cruise. There aren't any cruises that I know of. They don't want to. They fly someplace. They're leery of that. They can't go out to Europe. They can't even go to Canada. So what can they do for a vacation? They can take an RV, and we've all done a great job of selling this lifestyle, and they're trying to join us all. And all of the parks are jammed. And usually Yellowstone is always jammed with too many people, because many of them are tourists from overseas, particularly China, but those have all been shut down as well. So it's just local people, U.S. citizens, and I'm on the positive side. I think that's great. We're getting a lot of U.S. people to get out in the national parks.
And I think it will settle down a little bit.
I do too. I think it's just a matter. What are your favorite places, restaurants, museums, national wonders? Marzanne, we kind of... wherever we are is usually our favorite place. That's our attitude.
I always think everybody needs to go to Yellowstone. There's no place in the world like Yellowstone.
And for me, a close second, or maybe just even a little bit ahead or tied with Yellowstone, is Glacier National Park. For sheer mountain drama, you can't beat Glacier. And then just go on up a little bit and go into Canada, to Banff, to Lake Louise,
Beautiful.
Jasper. Oh my gosh, the Canadian Rockies. Yosemite on the West Coast. Utah is a hugely favorite state of ours. So many national parks, Canyonlands, Arches, Zion, Bryce Canyon. I mean, where do we even start? Texas, Big Bend National Park, North Dakota, Theodore Roosevelt National. I say these and I picture them, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be there. If you're looking, just go on our RV Lifestyle channel and look at some of the videos, the trip videos we've done, and you'll find lots of them. Excuse me. Dora, I'm work remotely. I'm looking to add internet to my RV, but I'm so confused. Any suggestions for a basic setup? I want to work while camping. Don't try doing a hotspot from your phone. You want to get a dedicated router. We're using, and I did a big video and a report on this. I don't know if I did a video. I did a blog report on rvlifestyle.com. And it's on a video too, come to think of it. We're now using something called Nomad Internet. And it's a pretty cool service. You buy the device or you pay a fee of $349. They send you a router. And then depending on how much you're on the internet, if you're going to work all remotely, it's $129 a month, which is very reasonable if that's your sole internet connection. And it's truly unlimited. It's not throttled at all. Their systems work on most of the major carriers, and you can check them out as Nomad Internet. That's what we're using now. We've also used the Verizon data card, and we also have the Winegard Connect 2 system, which works with on ours. It works with Verizon. We use Verizon and we use AT&T because I need to always be connected, and between those two, I always can be. This is great. Thank you, Phyllis, for putting up the question. It saves me scanning, and I'm always preoccupied. Do you have any special devices to ensure Bo is cool enough when you have to leave him in an RV, a remote camera, a thermometer? We do. We have the Nimble Pet Safety Monitor. And again, there's a cost to all this stuff. I mean, it is an app for my cell phone, and it will send me a text if the temperature gets too warm. I also have the generator on our RV adjusted to the fact that if it gets too cold, too warm, or the batteries deplete in the generator, the air conditioner will come on. But that's seldom am I running the air conditioner if we're boondocking. If we're plugged in someplace, it works great, and the generator can pop on should we lose shore power. But in general, I use this pet safety monitor. It's a little device that measures the temperature in your RV. It's always on. It is a connection to the internet. I think it costs $120 a year for it. You plug it in. It should be plugged in. It does run on batteries for a while, but I just leave it plugged in. And I don't even think about it. If we're out eating dinner and Jennifer says, how do you think Bo's doing? I call it up in my app and I can read it in real time what the temperature is in there. If it should go too high, I will get a text alert. So we have been very comfortable with that. And that's a great question, Ken, because we've been to states where they will break into your car if they see a dog in there.
And there are signs posted that they will do that. They will rescue your pet.
And charge you a big fine. Even if you have a little sign, RV, temperature control, dog is fine, they can still break in. It almost happened to us in Georgia. And we saw that in Texas when we were at Saguaro National Park, and we had perfectly cool air conditioning. We had lots and lots of lithium power, so we could run the AC in it. But the signs were real clear. Any unattended pets in a vehicle, and an RV was considered a vehicle, are subject to a huge fine, and we will break the windows to get your dog out of there.
Arizona or New Mexico?
Yeah, I think both those states. Yeah. So take care of your pet. That's great. Thank you, Ken, for the question. We do appreciate it. Let me jump on through here. Lots of you saying hi, and we
no recommendations for a quieter water pump.
Where was that?
Right in front of you. Do you have a
recommendation for a quieter water pump? No.
Ours isn't noisy, is it? I guess it's a little noisy, but
only when it's empty. No, ours isn't noisy. So
maybe we're talking like the middle of the night, flushing the toilet when you don't.
They all make a little bit of noise, but ours has not been. The only time I notice a water pump that goes on a lot is if you turn it on and the water in the fresh tank is low. It'll kind of work a little harder, but we've never had a noisy one. Are you making any plans to be in the East Coast? Hi, Jacqueline, by the way. Great to see you. Any problem negotiating the step in the back? The step up to the beds in the back of our Wonder? No,
so far so good.
You bump your head on the air conditioner a couple of times, and you learn you just kind of, when you climb up there, you got to duck down a little bit.
And so far, just the 2 weeks we were borrowing, we missed the step. We both each one time. So hopefully that is embedded in our brain. Pay attention.
There's a repeat. We had that super chat from Cliff, and we gave him some resources there. And what was the other question Jacqueline had? Plans to go east. Certainly not this year.
With the virus.
And because we don't know what the situation is next year, we have not yet made any plans for 2021, other than we're tossed between going to Quartzsite or going to Tampa in January. And then usually we take a long trip after Tampa and head west. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Joyce. We do appreciate that. From 46 July. I wonder what that's from all about. 46 July. You look great on our big screen TV, Janet Anderson's. We head out tomorrow for Michigan. Janet is down in Destin, Florida. They are folks we met at one of our gatherings down there. Well, Janet, we're going to be in Michigan. So holler when you're driving through or driving past. Tom McAllister, our friend Tom, have you ever stayed at a Corps of Engineer campground? We did somewhere, Missouri, I think. I don't remember. Missouri, Arkansas. Very nice. Almost all of them are on the water, and they're very reasonably priced. You can find out a lot of them from the blog. Just look up free camping or free campsites, free camping, and you'll find tons of resources we've done that tell you how to find them. Renting a Class C to visit Gettysburg over Labor Day weekend, tracing our heritage. We'll be in the market soon.
Sounds like a great trip.
Yep, it's going to be crowded. Gettysburg is not an RV friendly town. Let me give you a warning there. It's sometimes very difficult to find parking. So
get there early.
Get there early and do some checking around with the circumstances then. Thinking about buying our first RV, an LTV Unity. That's what we had just before the one we got now. Recommendation on paying 20 RV loan by minimum payment or pay more each week. Month. Look at your own situation. You know, if you buy it for 20 years, it's never going to be paid for. You're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars in interest. But if you plan to sell it in a couple of years, that makes it easier. You should sell it. Well, I don't know.
I would pay more each month.
Yeah, I think, the thing, as soon as you buy a new one, you lose 25% when you drive it off the lot. And then it takes another, I think it's about a 10 or 15% depreciation the second year. So you want to have had paid enough in your payments at the end of 2 or 3 years so you're not upside down in that loan. Talk to an accountant. But 20-year loans are not recommended, I don't think, for RVs, unless you're going to sell it and you know you can get what you need out of it. If you put enough down, you can do it. When you put lithium batteries in your Unity twin bed, actually we had the Unity FX, did you need to change your Go Solar controller? I don't know if we needed to, but we did. We wanted to work on all of one system, and it was just a great system. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was all controlled through an app on my phone, so I could check solar, I could check the lithium status, I could check the inverter, and it all kind of communicated together. We picked up that system from Battleborn, and as I mentioned earlier, we're thinking of adding a third Battleborn battery and maybe a little larger inverter. So we may do that. I just retired, and I'm looking for a pull travel trailer or all-in-one camper. In your opinion, what do you think is best? By camper, if you mean like a truck camper, and by travel trailer, I'll give you one brand that makes great travel trailers. We have a couple of tours on them on our Tampa video this year, and they make great truck campers. And those are the Lance brand. They are really quality. Travel trailer, we're a bit partial also to Airstream. We like Airstreams. But if that's what you mean by all-in-one camper, a truck camper, that's our recommendations. Have you guys ever seen any square dancing events at RV parks or rallies?
That sounds like fun.
No, I don't think we have, but that does sound fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Haven't ever seen them. I'm
sure there's somewhere.
No, I'd try it. Have you ever heard of anyone coming up with an alternate solutions to the 6-inch ground clearance from the Blackwater exit on a Class C? I haven't. 6 inches we have found has been just fine for driving and even driving down sandy trails. So in our Class C and the Class C we had before, it just hasn't been an issue. And we're down to 5.5 inches clearance now on our front levelers. The rest are 6 or so, but hasn't been an issue set. You know me, I'll tell you. I will tell you if we have problems. Like I told you, we had some problems a week ago. I'll tell you, we're transparent about it all. When we start RVing, I will have to work remotely. How many internet signals do you use? And have you ever had problems connecting or dropping connection? Hi, Jennifer. I was going to say, is this the Jennifer Jacobs who keeps us in shape on Peloton? But I think it's different. You have a singular name instead of two. Just to make it simple, we have a Verizon system and we have an AT&T system. And when one system has poor signals, usually the other has good. Almost all the time, both of them have pretty good signals. Verizon, a little bit better in the network. So working remotely, if it's really critical to you, get a backup. Get AT&T and get Verizon. And that's what most nomads that we know do. And Chris notes, hey, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, it's coming out tomorrow. In fact, I got to write my little intro as soon as we go off the air tonight. You can find that at rvlifestyle.com/community. And thank you. That's to sign up. So do you want to bring a couple people on live, do you think? What do you think?
Well, I know you're chomping.
I love doing this. This is one of the things that we did on a test the other day. And so I'm going to do this. Now I can't
Does somebody want to come on?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody wants to come on. So we're going to try something
I
here.
mean, you don't just grab somebody and say you're on.
Well, no, they have to sign up. They have to log in. Okay, folks, check out
'Cause, I mean, they could
this.
be in their pajamas or something.
Check out this link. I'm going to be. Yeah. Please be.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it. It says I can't post this in some places. So let me go back. Did it come up? Yeah, it did. Okay. And I think this will show up. I don't know where it'll show up, but if you go to that address, I can put you on live, and we'd like to see it. That's the Twitter address, and I think that there's also one for. I don't know if you all can see that. So basically, if you want to come on with your pictures and your audio, go to that and you'll pop up. You just type in that. You can't copy or click on that link. You have to copy it and put it in your browser. Copy that, click on it, and it will come to us, and we will take a couple of your questions live and at least get a chance to put a couple of other faces on here. What do you think, Phyllis? I'm going to bring you on. You think that's a good idea? Let's see. Think it's going to work?
Well, the nice thing about StreamYard is when they come on, we can see them in the bottom here and make sure they're dressed, and then decide if we're going to put them on screen or not. So, if you have, if you show up on screen and we can only see the top of your head, or not you at all, then we're not going to be able to put you up. But it's nice how StreamYard works that way.
So we'd love to see you. That's the address. You have to type it in.
And it's clickable. It's clickable in the feed, so people.
Oh, is it? Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know what. So when you do come on, there is a little microphone and a little couple little dots. No, actually, and you can adjust those, and we'll pick some of you up depending on how the picture looks, and if you have an RV question. And if you that's great. So I think that's a great idea. So you got the address, and we'll see how it all works. Meantime, let's do a couple of questions from a Facebook user. We are picking up our new Wonder on Tuesday.
Wow.
Congratulations. Are we crazy for picking it up in Georgia and driving to Key West as first-time RVers? Not at all. Go for it. You don't have to go that far. And we did that. I think we picked ours up and we were gone.
Yeah.
Right away. We just
we always wanted to go down to Key West. I mean, we'd been there, but we wanted to go there and stay there in our RV. So it was great fun.
Yeah. So it worked out. It looked pretty good. Question: were you able to get the refrigerator door fixed? Yes, Sharon.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Ask us tomorrow. We got it on there. It's on there. So we'll see.
It's on there. I can open it one way. I can't open it both ways.
Yeah.
So it's usable.
All right, I'm going to try a couple of questions, and we got a couple of people who've checked in, and we're trusting everybody's legitimate here because sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. But let's start with somebody named Brian Fisher. Hey, Brian, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Where are you from, Brian?
Indio, California.
Thank you. Yeah, any smoke out there from those fires?
Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of them. It's dying down right now. It's just mostly now it's hot.
All right. Any questions at all for us tonight?
I've seen that you look like you're a ham radio operator. Do you have ham radios in your motorhome?
I do. I never use them, though. It's just kind of a lot of noise, and it bothers my traveling companion. Sometimes if we want, I can set up a portable station at the campsite and have a little fun. But I don't really use it that much. I use it. It's great. If you look here, there's the microphone for my station, which is right over here next to me. But I don't use it in the RV very much.
Yeah, because I get me into being a ham radio operator.
Yep, it's a lot of fun. It works great. All right, thanks, Brian. I'm going to jump on. We got Michelle standing by here, and let's bring Michelle in. Michelle, how are you? Where are you from?
Good. How are you? I'm from
We're great.
Hilton, New York, just outside of Rochester.
Well, how's everything out that way?
Not bad. We're doing okay. We've been doing a little bit of traveling this summer. We've been calling it our New York State tour.
Oh, you can get up to the Adirondacks, and that's one of our
Finger Lakes. We've been to the Finger Lakes. We've been over to Chautauqua by Lake Erie. up near the Thousand Islands. So we have been just all over. But in a few days, we are finally venturing out of state and heading to Maine. So
Awesome.
we're excited about that. We have a Heimer Class B. So we are really excited to get back in that and be out for a couple of weeks.
That is great. Any questions for us tonight?
Well, do you have any suggestions over in Maine? Anything that you've seen? We're
Get up
looking
by
at the
Acadia. Get up to
oh,
Acadia
definitely. And
and eat
hopefully-
lobster rolls. Lots of
We'll do
lobster
that.
rolls.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
All right, Michelle. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. We
Sure,
appreciate it.
we enjoy watching you guys each week.
Well, it's fun to be able to actually, we love taking the questions, but it's fun to have a little bit of time like this with everybody. So thank you so
good.
much.
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go to Escott. Hey, where are you from?
I'm from Erie, Colorado.
Oh, it's Colorado. You got fire out there too?
Now, the smoke seems to be clearing up lately for the last about 3 or 4 days. So hopefully that trend will continue.
What kind of an RV do you have?
We don't have an RV yet. We ordered a Leisure Travel Vans Wonder back in May, and we were told that we'd get it in April or May of next year. And then we got a call yesterday saying that they've moved it up to early December.
Wow, great. I heard some other people who've ordered it and they say they won't get one until till next spring or summer. So that's great. That's good.
Yeah.
Any questions for us tonight?
Yeah, we do. So I had a question about your e-bikes. Have you figured out a solution for putting them in your garage or an alternative?
We did. We mentioned a little earlier in the program. So basically you put one in the garage and you put one on the hitch on the back.
Gotcha.
Should work. That's good. All right. Hey, thank you so much for checking in with us. And we're going to grab a couple of others who are out there, and that's good. We're going to do 2 more, and then we'll go back to some of the live ones or some of the text questions. This is great fun. Thomas Welch, Sundance Blue, whatever it is. How you doing?
Hey, great. Love you guys' show and that.
Well, thank you. Where are you from?
Gaylord, Michigan.
Right
A little
up
north of you.
Yeah, we'll be traveling through your area soon. What can we answer for you tonight? What kind of a question?
I really don't have questions. I just want to make sure this was working for you and clicked on it. And just want to say hi. And right now I'm in Mackinac, heading to St. Ignace tomorrow. Stay there.
Are you camping? Are you camping now? Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. What are you in?
I have a Fleetwood 33.
And where are you camped?
Well, right now I'm just at Mackinac Crossing for a little while, and I'm going over to St. Ignace. And
so you're in Mac City then?
Yeah, going to a lakeshore campground.
Yeah,
have you been?
Excellent. We do. We know Michigan. Well, that's our favorite area. Well, I wish we were up there with you.
Yeah, have you been at the lakeshore campground there in St. Ignace?
Yeah, we have. Our favorite though is the Straight Skate Park. That's our favorite in St. Ignace. Straight Skate Park with that beautiful views of the bridge. All right. Thank you for checking in from the tip of the mitt, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
One last one, and let's go to Kristen, who's been there. Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and we just got our first RV. It's a Winnebago Bolt, and we picked it up on August 1st.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I know that Bolt. That's a beautiful rig with lots of solar and lots of lithium.
Yes. So my question is, so you guys have obviously had a lot of rigs. What is the, what's the feature?
Hi there. Hi there.
That's Greg, my partner.
Hi, Greg. It's Jennifer, me. Yeah.
By the way, he loves that you're using StreamYard. He was doing some live casting and just switched to StreamYard because he thought your production looked great. So
it's an amazing
learned so much beyond RVs from you.
Yeah, every time I turn around, I find one more feature that costs me another $200 a year, but that's all right. I'm learning. Yeah.
But what is the one RV feature that, going forward, it's a deal breaker if your rig doesn't have it?
What do you think?
You would say automatic levelers.
Automatic levelers, I'd say. What else? A comfortable bed. I mean, I think a real bed instead of a sofa that makes into a bed.
Yeah.
A standalone shower, a dry shower. That's big. Yeah. What else?
Well,
what else?
that's 3.
That's 3. I know.
That's
but
quite a
but
few.
every one of those would the automatic levelers you can always have installed third party.
Yeah, we're
But
looking
the
into
dry
that. They're not sure on the Sprinter if they can do that at equalizer systems right now. They're checking with someone that makes the bolt because they can't drill in to the Mercedes chassis.
Well, they can.
Right, they've ruined the warranty.
Yeah, the bolt's a little different because you have a lot of different stuff underneath. It's not so much they can on the chassis, but it just depends on what they have put, what Thor has put underneath, or what who makes the bolt.
It's not that hard to
Winnebago
it's not that
bolt,
hard to level it, really.
Yeah, so
We just
for us
spoiled.
it's a dry bathroom, a dry shower. We really like that. And comfortable beds. So
we just figured for us that nothing was going to be perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's kind of like especially on a Class B, there's always a compromise. So
there is.
For us,
but
it was lithium.
you picked a great one. Are you in it now by chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
But we love it. We love it.
You are. The Bolt's a beautiful unit. It really is. All right. Thanks, Kristen. It's great to meet you.
All right. Thanks. Nice meeting you guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, that is fun, isn't it?
It is fun.
Isn't that fun? All right. Let's go to a couple more questions. And hey, I like this. This is music to our ear. Nana says this is the best live stream. Thank you so much. That is great. Ann Gibson, do you think that campgrounds will open up after Labor Day?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I think most of them are open now, but if you mean, do you think there'll be fewer people out there? We sure hope so, because we're not really doing anything out there until we hope they all go back after Labor Day. We still want to have a big trip up to the UP in Michigan, and we want to probably do that in the week after next, and we'll see what happens.
It's a very strange feeling not to be able to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Because in Michigan, we're used to being able to pop over to Canada to camp and tour.
It is. Do you need a reducer to plug the Wonder in if the site offers 30 and 50 amp service? No, if they offer 30 amp service, your extension cord will plug right in. If they offer 50, which is usually the next big, there's 2 big round plugs in the receptacle and the pedestal. The big round one's 50. If that's all you have, you do need a reducer, and you can plug your 30 amp in the reducer and then into the 50. But usually the plug, if they say they have 30 and 50 amps, one plug is for 30 and one is for 50. So, but always have that reducer with you. I think that's a really important thing to do. So it works out good. And that's a Facebook user. So, well, this has been really fun. We're up to our hour, and I don't want us to go over here. And we want to thank everybody so much for being with us. We were on live on Twitter, on Periscope with Twitter. We were on live on our Facebook group, our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, which is kind of a real interactive forum. There's about almost 42,000 people in that now. We were live on our Facebook RV Lifestyle page, and we were live, of course, as we do usually every week, on our YouTube channel. Want to remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please do that. We've got lots of videos planned for you. Tomorrow, the newsletter comes out. Those of you who subscribe, you'll get lots of information. Don't forget the RV Lifestyle Travel blog. We've got lots of stuff on that for you to see. And what else?
We had a hi there from Atlanta, and I want to say I'm jealous because we've got 2 grandsons in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's got a special place in my heart.
And we kind of wish we were there. Podcast coming up on Wednesday. We'll be talking about Quartzsite, Arizona. If you've never been there, you're going to want to listen to the interview with Kimmy King. She is one of the producers of that big RV show out there. We'll talk about boondocking in the desert and much more. So you guys have all been great. We want to thank you so much for being with us. And there's the link to subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you, Chris, for that. Thank you, Phyllis. Let's check in one last time with Phyllis. Chris doesn't have his webcam working yet. So, Phyllis, thank you so much for all your work tonight. Phyllis. That was fun, huh?
Couldn't do it without you. Without you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of messed up because we've been really working hard here behind the scenes.
I'll be anxious to hear the stories. All right. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Chris. Thank you all for watching. And with that, it is time for us to say
happy trails.
Bye-bye.